a high-end suburban kitchen. Clara is wearing a faded apron over her mustard yellow silk blouse. She's washing dishes while her son, Leo, and his wife Vanessa are sitting at the Marble Island, sipping $15 lattes and looking at luxury travel brochures. Clara had been playing the NPC, non-player character in her own son's life for 3 years. To Leo, she was just Ma, the live-in nanny who cooked, cleaned, and stayed out of the way. He thought she was broke tier, living off a tiny Social Security check. Little did he know, Clara was a remote CEO for a global tech firm, pulling in $120,000 a month, $1.4 million a year. She kept her laptop locked in a mustard yellow vintage trunk and worked while they were out flexing on Instagram. Leo slammed his hand on the counter. Ma, we need to talk. The vibes in this house are getting cluttered. Vanessa and I want to turn your room into a content studio for her skincare brand. We already booked the contractors. Clara didn't stop scrubbing the pot. And where am I supposed to sleep, Leo? On the balcony? Vanessa rolled her eyes so hard it probably hurt. Ugh, Clara, don't be so extra. We found this really aesthetic nursing home about 2 hours away. They have bingo and like pudding. You'll be with your own generation. Plus, let's be real, you're basically a beggar living on our dime. It's time to despawn from this house. Leo nodded, not even looking his mother in the eye. Yeah, Ma, we're leveling up. You're just holding back our clout. Pack your bags. The Uber is coming in an hour. Don't make it cringe. Clara felt a cold, savage fire ignite in her chest. She dried her hands, her face becoming a mask of final boss calm. I see, Clara whispered. So, because you think I'm low income, I'm no longer family tier? It's just business, Ma, Leo said, checking his gold-plated watch. Stay humble, though. Vanessa literally laughed. Bye, beggar. Don't let the door ratio you on the way out. She grabbed Clara's arm and shoved her toward the hallway. Vanessa then slammed the front door so hard the glass rattled. Boom. Clara stood on the sidewalk with one small suitcase. She looked up at the house she had secretly been paying the mortgage on through a shell company for 2 years, because Leo was too broke to afford the payments himself. Okay, kids, Clara smirked, pulling a hidden iPhone 17 Pro Max from her pocket. You want to play rich versus poor? Let's change the server settings. She dialed a number. Hey Marcus, it's Clara. That modern mansion directly across the street from my son's house, the one with the all-glass front and the infinity pool? Is it still for sale? Great. Buy it. Cash. Move-in ready by tonight. Also, send a moving crew to the local mustard yellow storage unit. I'm tired of wearing this nanny skin. Cut to 6 p.m. across the street. Leo and Vanessa were on their porch, taking thick checks for their followers. Suddenly, a massive black convoy of Escalades pulled up to the empty mansion across the street. A team of security guards in mustard yellow ties stepped out and formed a line. Yo, who's the whale moving in? Leo muttered, feeling his ego take a hit. Whoever that is has infinite aura. A sleek, matte black Lamborghini Revuelto pulled up. The doors swung up. Out stepped a woman wearing a $10,000 designer suit, diamond-encrusted glasses, and a mustard yellow silk scarf. It was Clara. She looked glowed up to the max. Her hair was perfectly styled, and she was holding a stack of $100 bills like it was a pack of gum. Vanessa's jaw literally hit the floor. Wait, is that the beggar? Clara walked to the edge of her new driveway, looked across the street at Leo and Vanessa, who were standing in their mid-tier yard, and took a slow sip of expensive champagne. Hey Leo, Clara shouted, her voice echoing with boss energy. The nursing home was full, so I decided to buy the neighborhood instead. How's the content studio coming along in my old room? Leo stumbled forward, tripping over his own sneakers. Ma, what is this? Is this a prank video? Where did you get the loot? Clara pulled out her tablet and projected a holographic screen for the whole street to see. It showed her bank balance, $8,400,000 in liquid cash. I've been making more in a month than you make in a decade, Leo, Clara said, her eyes chillingly cold. But you were too busy simping for clout to notice your mother was the main character the whole time. Vanessa tried to run over, her face shifting into a fake smile. Oh my God, Clara. We were just trolling. It was a social experiment. We love you. Can we come over and see the pool? Clara signaled her security team. A massive iron gate began to slide shut, humming with high-tech precision. Access denied, Clara said. You told me to get out, remember? Well, I'm out, but I'm also right here. I'm going to spend every day making sure you see what real wealth looks like from your budget balcony. As the gate locked with a heavy click, Leo stood in the rain, which had just started pouring. Talk about bad RNG. He looked at his beggar mother, who was now his billionaire neighbor. Ma, please, Leo cried out. I was wrong. The math wasn't mathing. Clara didn't even look back. She walked into her mansion, and the mustard-yellow lights blurred into a glow of pure victory. Michael, Clara said to her assistant, call the bank. Since I own the shell company that holds Leo's mortgage, tell them I want to foreclose by Monday. Let's see how he likes the nursing home vibes. ये रहा कहानी का Part 2 मुकम्मल, USA slang और 80,000 अल्फाज वाले savage अंदाज में। अब लियो क्लारा पर केस करने की कोशिश करेगा, लेकिन क्लारा उसे 4K में जलील कर देगी। The Stealth Millionaire, Clara's Revenge, The Lawsuit Glitch, full script, 1,000-word style. Scene, a cramped, messy apartment that Leo and Vanessa had to rent, because Clara officially evicted them from the house. Vanessa is crying because her gold-plated hairbrush was seized, and Leo is pacing around, looking absolutely cooked. Leo was malfunctioning. His ego was fragmented. He went from clout king to couch surfer in 24 hours. But his toxic brain had one last corrupted idea. Vanessa, stop the waterworks, Leo hissed, slamming a cheap energy drink on the table. My mom, Clara, she's been gatekeeping that 120K monthly bag for years. That's family loot, right? Legally, she gaslit me into thinking we were broke while she was stacking in secret. I'm gonna sue her for emotional damage and financial negligence. We'll get a settlement that'll put us back in the S-tier lifestyle. Vanessa wiped her eyes, her fake lashes hanging by a thread. But Leo, she's a final boss now. She has infinite armor. How are we gonna pierce her legal defense? I found this high-tier law firm, Viper & Associates. Leo smirked, looking at a glossy business card. They specialize in aggressive wealth redistribution. They told me if I have a blood relation to the money, I have a claim. We're gonna ratio her in court. Cut 2. 3 days later, the Viper & Associates law firm. Leo and Vanessa walked into the office, trying to look main character energy despite wearing thrift store suits. The office was overpowered. Marble floors, mustard yellow curtains. Leo should have recognized the vibe by now, and a receptionist who looked like a supermodel. Mr. Sterling, the head lawyer Mr. Viper said with a predatory smile. We've reviewed your case against your mother. It's heavy-duty drama. We've already drafted a cease and desist and a freeze order for her accounts. We just need a $50,000 retainer to hit start. Leo's face glitched. I'm a bit low on liquid right now. Can we do a performance-based pay? Like, you take 50% of the loot once we win. Suddenly, the massive, mustard-yellow double doors at the back of the office swung open. Out walked Clara. She was wearing a platinum-white power suit, holding a gold-trimmed tablet, and looking like she just bought the entire server. Hey, Leo, Clara said, her voice dripping with high-resolution sarcasm. I heard you were looking for some legal support. How's the budget suit treating your aura? Leo jumped back, nearly tripping over a mustard-yellow rug. Ma? What are you doing at my lawyer's office? Are you trying to stream snipe my legal move? Clara looked at Mr. Viper, then back at Leo. She started laughing, a savage, 100 crit damage laugh. "Leo," Clara said, leaning against the mahogany desk. "I didn't stream snipe you. I pre-ordered this firm. See, while you were busy simping for lattes, I was investing in the legal sector. I bought Viper and Associates last night for $10 million. Mr. Viper here isn't your lawyer. He's my senior associate." Mr. Viper bowed his head. "Actually, Madam Clara, I've already prepared the countersuit for frivolous litigation and harassment against Mr. Leo Sterling." Leo's jaw despawned. You bought the law firm? That's unethical. That's a mob abuse." "Papi, no, Leo," Clara said, her eyes turning into cold steel. "That's market control. You wanted to use the law to loot my hard work? I just patched the loophole. Now, let's talk about your debts." Clara tapped her tablet, and a giant holographic screen appeared in the room. It showed Leo's credit card statements, his unpaid car loans, and the fake followers he'd bought on a credit card Clara had secretly co-signed years ago. "You owe $250,000 to various vendors, Leo," Clara said, her voice echoing with final boss authority. "And since I now own the debt collection agency you're flagged in, I've decided to recall all your loans, today, by 5 p.m. Vanessa gasped. "But we'll be socially extinct, our credit score will be 0. "Exactly," Clara smirked, adjusting her mustard yellow scarf. "You wanted to cancel me from your life? Well, I'm deleting your financial identity. You're no longer Leo Sterling the influencer. You're now Leo Sterling the delinquent." Clara walked toward the door but stopped right next to Leo. She leaned in and whispered, "I also bought the gym you go to, the cafe you flex at, and the apartment complex you're currently staying in. Consider this a global ban from the lifestyle you didn't earn." She walked out, her mustard yellow heels clicking on the marble like a death timer for Leo's career. Leo stood there, looking at his worthless lawyer, while his phone started exploding with late payment notifications. He realized he didn't just lose the case. He lost the whole map. A dingy low-budget motel room with flickering lights. Leo is holding a cracked smartphone, looking like a homeless influencer. Vanessa is trying to fix her makeup with a dried-up lipstick. Leo was down bad. His bank account was zeroed out, his car was towed, and his aura was in the negatives. But he had one last toxic trait left. The victim card. "Vanessa, hit record on the TikTok," Leo growled, rubbing his eyes to make them look red. "If I can't loot her bank account, I'll nuke her reputation. I'm gonna tell my 500,000 fake followers that Clara is a financial tyrant who kicked her own son into the streets during a mental health crisis. The internet mob will cancel her brand, and she'll have to buy my silence with a multi-million-dollar apology." Vanessa sniffled. "Do it, Leo. Make it viral. Give them that sad boy energy." Leo looked into the camera, his voice shaking with artificial tears. "Hey guys, it's Leo. I've been shadow banned from my own home. My mom, Clara, she's a secret whale who's been gaslighting me for years. She just evicted me and Vanessa into the rain, while she lives in a $5 million mansion across the street. She's toxic, she's narcissistic, and she's using her mustard yellow millions to silence the truth. Please, #cancel Clara, #justice for Leo." Cut to 2 hours later, the internet is glitching. The video went global. Within an hour, #cancel Clara was the #1 trending topic. Clout chasers were outside Clara's mansion with mustard yellow protest signs. The internet court had already found her guilty of emotional terrorism. Cut to Clara's private command center. Clara was sitting in a high-tier leather chair, watching the hate comments scroll by on a 100-inch screen. She wasn't crying. She was eating gold flake popcorn. "Madam Clara," her assistant Michael whispered, "the cancel mob is at the gate. Your brand value is dropping. Should we deactivate the social accounts?" Clara smirked, her eyes glowing with final boss intelligence. No, Michael. Why block the signal when you can hijack it? Launch the global live stream. It's time for a system update. Suddenly, every phone that was watching Leo's sob story got a notification. Clara Sterling is live. The truth in 4K. The live stream begins. Clara appeared on screen, looking immortal in a mustard yellow silk dress. Behind her, a massive digital screen started playing archived footage. "Hello, Internet Court," Clara said, her voice crystal clear and savage. "My son Leo says I'm a tyrant. He says I evicted him for no reason. But let's look at the server logs." She swiped the screen. A video from 2 weeks ago played. It was Leo and Vanessa in the kitchen, laughing. Leo's voice on video. "Once we put the old lady in that budget nursing home, we can use her social security to buy the new Cybertruck. She's just a respawn point for our lifestyle anyway. She's useless."